Farming and tourist towns are fearing a potential exodus of backpackers as visa costs soar to $640. The $130 increase comes as the federal government also considers placing one-year limits on working holidaymaker visas. Regional and rural residents fear losing backpackers will contribute to labour shortages, delivering a major blow to local industries. The opposition's warning changing the visa rules could devastate regional economies. Let's bring in National Senator Matt Canavan. We'll start there. Matt, what do you think this will do for the regions?
Well, look, it's pretty concerning, these extra charges, because particularly it's hard in our tourist industry. We've got great environmental assets, great natural resources for people to come and see, but it is very costly to come to Australia for most people, given the distance we are from the world. And of course, we have high labour costs, relatively high cost industry compared to some of the resources we're competing, the assets we're competing with in Southeast Asia. And so extra charges on our tourist industry can have a really devastating blow. And I recognise the government needs to raise more revenue, particularly given the spending they've let out of control. But why don't we charge the migrants coming into the country that want to live here? I think that would make a lot more sense. I think we're probably taking in too many anyway, so putting on a charge there for migrants who permanently want to come here and use our infrastructure and live in our houses, that seems more sense to me than slugging the tourist industry, which is already struggling given the high cost nature of doing business in Australia.
Let's turn our attention overseas, Matt. Vladimir Putin, he's issued a stern warning to a local uprising overnight. What's your take on this? Do you think there was an actual legitimate uprising that takes place here, or are you in line with the cynics who think he may be foxing for the next election next year?
Well, mate, I think the one thing this has revealed more than anything else is no one in the West really knows what's going on in Russia.
Yeah.
I mean, there's very few journalists there. We have very little information. It's probably the same as it was during the worst days of the Iron Curtain in the Cold War. We really have no idea what is going on within Russia. I am very concerned that all I take out of it is it's very concerning that perhaps we were mere hours or days away from the leader of effectively a terrorist organisation, the Wagner Group, controlling 6,000 nuclear warheads. And this is the seriousness of what the situation is there with what's happening in Ukraine and Russia more generally. Sometimes I think we just forget here that this is just perhaps a couple of missteps towards absolute disaster. It's very easy for us to sit in our armchairs and watch this from a distance, but I think we have to hope and pray that things don't go much worse very quickly.
Yeah, true. I'm going to stay overseas because I've got a doozy for you, Matt Canavan. So let's turn our attention to New York City, folks. Here, the Greens are going after pizzas. The City Department of Environmental Protection has drafted new rules that would force pizza joints using wood and coal-fired ovens to slash emissions by 75%. Or you need infiltration systems for the older ovens, which would alter the taste of pizzas. But I have to get your response to this.
Well, is there anything that coal can't do, Peter? It can produce lovely food too. And I think there's one thing that's really important about this story to show and prove is that, I mean, very few pizza companies market the fact they have coal-fired pizzas. That doesn't sort of happen, but you do see wood-fired pizzas.
Yeah, that's true.
You do see wood-fired pizza ovens, wood-fired pizzas on restaurants.
People have them at home.
Coal is just fossilised wood. Coal is just wood. Like there's this sort of coal has become this sort of evil, terrible pollutant. It's actually just organic matter that's been fossilised over hundreds of millions of years. So there's nothing particularly and inherently dangerous about it. You can cook with it. You can heat your barbecue with it. We put it in soaps and detergents. All this sort of stuff often has coal in it. There's nothing that dangerous about it. But look, this is just another. It's a ridiculous example. While China is building 2 coal-fired power stations a week, apparently we're going to save the planet by shutting down coal-fired pizza ovens in New York.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be suggesting don't get any ideas about this when it comes to our Australian pizza eateries, Matt.
Yeah, look, I mean, leave them alone, I think. Whatever tastes good, go for it. So they taste pretty good, those wood-fired, coal-fired pizzas, so let's have more of them.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a bit of Italian blood in you. That's not amore.
Exactly. No, I don't mind a good pizza. But I'm true blue Aussie, as the High Court proves. I'll take that.
No, that's true. No. I was just a play on terms there. Matt Canavan, good to see you. We'll talk to you again soon. Yeah, how about that, going after our pizzas now? We'll see how that one progresses in New York City. There's pizza places on every corner.